Welcome to Indian Institute of Public Administration. In the previous episode on industrial and manufacturing in India, under 100 ideas of reforms, Viksit Bharat at 2047, we examined 10 critical reforms. We spoke about increasing defense spending, removing FDI roadblocks, reviving MSME growth, creating dedicated zones for rare earth, aligning grading with global standards, introducing single window factory approvals, building a global financial hub, unlocking global listings, creating a smart export system, and ensuring a predictable power tariff regime. These reforms strengthen production, they boost competitiveness, they prepare India for scale. In this episode, we move to the fourth pillar of India at 2047 reform blueprint, that is agriculture and rural prosperity. Why does this matter? Because agriculture supports livelihoods. It sustains rural India. It anchors food security and social stability. Agriculture accounts for approximately 15% of India's GDP under Viksit Bharat at 2047. The agriculture sector has a clear mission: ensure food security, build climate resilience, boost rural prosperity, modernizing farming through technology, adapt sustainable practices, and improve market access. This video examines 10 shortlisted reform areas in agriculture and rural development. It reviews the current status of the sector. It suggests course correction where required. And it recommends alternative focus areas where gaps exist. Time is critical. India has less than 2 decades to reach 2047. That urgency shapes every recommendation to identify practical and achievable pathways. These reforms are outlined in a special edition of IIPA Digest, authored by Professor Ashok Vishandass, Senior Faculty of IIPA, along with the participants of the 51st APPA, including Brigadier Gaurav Singh Karki and Brigadier Amit Khurana. These reforms are practical, they are achievable, and they are critical to India's transformation by 2047. Let us examine them one by one. Liberating agricultural markets in India. Why do agricultural markets need further liberalization? What does this mean for farmers on the ground? India has made progress in liberalizing agricultural markets. However, states like Bihar and Kerala are yet to adopt the Model Agricultural Produce Market Committee (APMC) Act. Today, one APMC mandi serves 406 square kilometers against the recommended 80 square kilometers. Private procurement and contract farming remain limited. What are the core problems? Reforms are uneven across states. This fragments the national agricultural market. Farmers travel long distance to mandis. Transport costs rise. Perishable produce is lost. Infrastructural gap persists. Cold chain and storage are inadequate. Private players face over-regulation. Farmers fear exploitation in contract farming. Middlemen dominate trade. Farmers lack direct access to processors and exporters. So what is the way forward? Encourage uniform adoption of the Model APMC Act. Simplify and standardize contract farming laws. Expand mandi networks. Invest in cold storage and cold chains through PPPs. Promote private procurement with model agreements and incentives. Strengthen electronic national agricultural market for transparent price discovery. Empower farmer-producer organization to improve bargaining power and reduce dependence on middlemen. Ramping up food. How serious is India's food storage problem? Why are these losses so high? A 2022 government survey shows 6% of cereals and 12% of fruits and vegetables are lost post-harvest every year. Cold storage remains limited, especially at farm gates and mandis. So what gap stands out? Storage facilities are concentrated near cities. Farmers are forced to distress sell. Climate change worsens losses. Unseasonable rains and heat damage crops. Private investment is low. Policy uncertainty persists. Supply chain remain fragmented. What solutions are proposed? Expand cold storage at farm gates and rural mandis. Promote solar-powered cold storage. Offer tax benefits and subsidies to attract private investment. Train farmers in post-harvest handling. Promote cooperative storage models. Integrate storage with transport, e-NAM, and retail chains. Adopt smart storage using IoT and digital tracking. Rethinking ethanol blending in India. India has achieved 20% ethanol blending. So why rethink it now? India has achieved 20% ethanol blending. True, but this requires 1,000 crore liters of ethanol annually. That translates to 11 to 12 million tons of grains and 275 million tons of sugarcane. What are the main risks? Food grains are diverted to fuel. This threatens food security in drought years. Sugarcane is water intensive. It nearly needs 2,000 liters of water per kilogram of sugar. Monocropping increases ecological and income risk. Dependence on food-based ethanol creates vulnerability. What would be the balanced approach? Shift to 2G biofuels using crop residue and waste. Promote 3G biofuels from algae. Encourage sweet sorghum and cassava. Restrict sugarcane to water-abundant states like Bihar and Assam. Adopt flexible blending targets during poor harvest years. Create a national biofuel council. Invest in biorefineries and farmer training. Focusing on food processing to boost agri exports. What is India's current agricultural export position? India's agri export stands at $43 billion. Export exists to reach $70 billion in financial year 2025. Rice exports were $12 billion. Spices exports were $4.5 billion. What holds India back? Exports are mostly raw or semi-processed. Value addition is low. Cold chain and packaging are inadequate. Quality compliance remains weak. Supply chains are fragmented. Private participation is limited. Global competitors are better branded. What needs to change? Develop integrated value chains. Expand mega food parks and cold storage via PPPs. Align standards with global benchmarks like the Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point (HACCP) and Good Agricultural Practices (GAP). Simplify export procedures. Offer incentives for private and FDI participation. Create a national agri-export brand. Use digital traceability like blockchain to build buyers' trust. Enhancing agricultural productivity. How does India compare globally on productivity? India's crop yields lag behind China. More than half of farmland is rain-fed. Average land holding fell from 2.26 hectares in 1971-72 to 1.8 hectares in 2015-16. What are the bottlenecks? Limited irrigation, declining groundwater, poor soil health due to fertilizer imbalance, low mechanization among small farmers, weak extension services, over-reliance on water-intensive crops. What reforms are needed? Expand irrigation and water harvesting, promote drip and sprinkler irrigation, strengthen soil health card implementation, encourage biofertilizers and organic manure, create custom hiring centers for machinery, use AI, IoT and remote sensing, promote region-appropriate crops like millets, pulses and oilseeds, promoting non-farm activities. Why focus beyond farming? Activities like fishing, dairy, poultry and beekeeping offer strong income diversification. They provide employment and hedge against crop failure. What challenges exist? Skill gaps persist, credit access is limited, market reach remains narrow, infrastructure is inadequate. What can unlock this potential? Invest in rural roads, power, internet and storage. Provide targeted skill training. Improve credit access via MFIs and finance companies. Use e-commerce and ONDC to connect rural producers to national markets. Smoothening farm credit flow. Why is farm credit so critical? Agriculture contributes 15% of GDP and employs 46% of the workforce. 86% of farmers are small and marginal. Where does the system fall short? Its dependence on informal credit remains high. Credit diversion occurs. Large farmers receive a disproportionate share. Financial literacy is low. What needs to be done? Strengthen Kisan credit card coverage. Improve financial literacy. Collaborate with MFIs and NBFCs. Tailor credit products for climate risk. Align credit delivery with the goal of doubling farm incomes. Paying all subsidies via DBT. So why move subsidies to DBT? Because subsidies include free power and fertilizer. This distort resource use. Free power depleted groundwater in Punjab. Subsidized urea degraded soil. What are the implementation challenges? Leakages and inefficiencies persist. Tenant farmers, about 30%, are often excluded. Digital divide limits access. Resistance from intermediaries exists. What is the solution? Transfer subsidies directly to bank accounts. Follow models like PM Kisan. Create comprehensive farmer databases. Include tenant farmers and sharecroppers. Adopt phased state-specific rollout. Integrate DBT with PMFBY and PM Kisan. Replacing MSP with farm income insurance. Why is MSP insufficient? MSP provides price assurance but has limited reach. Small farmers often remain excluded. MSP does not cover yield or climate risk. Implementation of statutory MSP is difficult. Data gaps and farmer resistance exist. What is the alternative? Shift to comprehensive farm income insurance. Expand PM Fasal Bima Yojana coverage. Use satellite data, AI and IoT for claims. Include tenant farmers and women farmers. Move toward one nation, all farmers, one account. Ensuring clear land ownership titles. So why are land titles so important? Clear land titles are essential for credit, compensation and scheme access. Digitization is underway, but there are problems. So what challenges persist? Multiple claims and outdated records persist. Tribal and customary rights complicate ownership. Coordination between departments is weak. Proposed reforms are: speed up land record digitization, use modern surveys and blockchain storage. Move towards one nation, one record. Improve coordination between revenue, judiciary and registration system. Clean land titles will unlock credit, reduce disputes and strengthen rural prosperity. India's agricultural transformation needs comprehensive reforms. Reforms that improve market access, strengthen infrastructure, adopt technology, expand financial inclusion, and build strong institutions. This framework offers a clear roadmap for sustainable agriculture and lasting rural prosperity. Success will depend on execution, on coordinated implementation, on adequate financial resources, on technological innovation, and on sustained political commitment. Above all, farmers must remain at the center. Every reform must improve livelihoods. Every policy must strengthen rural prosperity. India now has a strong digital foundation. When combined with better literacy and financial inclusion, it offers a chance to leapfrog old constraints. By using technology wisely and fixing structural challenges, India can build a productive, resilient, and sustainable agricultural sector, one that ensures food security and protects farmer welfare. The path ahead will not be easy, but the rewards are worth it. Rural prosperity, food security, environmental sustainability, and long-term economic growth. Incremental change is no longer enough. Transformative action is essential. This brings us to the next pillar of reform, that is education for the future. In the next episode, we will explore 10 critical education reforms. They are: targeting 6% spending on primary education, creating a single education regulator, skilling from the school level, attracting the world's best and brightest to India, Indian universities in the global top 100, making sports a priority in every school, providing 2 meals per child, inviting private capital into universities, digitizing and diversifying school curricula, and strengthening the National Testing Agency for Zero League examination. That's all for this episode. We hope that you found this insightful. To read the full article by Professor Ashok Vishandass, please check the link below in the description. Thank you for watching.